I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call roll.
Trustee Beckman?
Here.
Trustee Lane?
Here.
Trustee Nix?
Here.
Trustee Orcutt?
Here.
Trustee Wakeman?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Here.
Mayor Austin?
Here. Thank you. Does anybody have any additions or deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll take a motion.
Motion to approve agenda.
A second?
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt?
Yes.
Trustee Nix?
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman?
Yes.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Do we have any citizens that would like to address the board tonight in public comment? Nobody wants to come up and chat with us? Okay. All right. Tonight we have a proclamation for Mental Health Month. So, whereas now more than ever, we must understand that the health of our minds is as important as physical health. And whereas 1 in every 4 people are affected by mental illness, with more Weld County residents having reported mental health challenges such as depression, anxiety, or other mental health conditions than in years past. And whereas Milliken residents can find recovery through a variety of outpatient, residential, and critical walk-in crisis support options through Weld County's Community Mental Health Center, North Range Behavioral Health. And whereas Milliken residents are healthier because North Range's commitment to preventing hospitalizations, incarcerations, trauma, suicides, and substance abuse, use disorder through collaboration with community health centers, school districts, human services, law enforcement, United Way, and many others. And whereas National Mental Health Month is observed every May to raise awareness about behavioral health, recovery, and hope, the importance of prevention and factors that contribute to mental wellness. Now, therefore, we, the town of Milliken, do hereby proclaim May 2024 as Mental Health Month in the town of Milliken, and call upon the citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of behavioral health and understanding the need for appropriate and accessible services for all citizens. And we have a guest speaker from North Range. Please approach the podium and state your name for the record.
Hello, my name is Michaela Sanchez, and I am the Marketing and Community Outreach Director for North Range Behavioral Health. So I just wanted to take a couple moments to say thank you for issuing the proclamation. I think the biggest thing for the takeaway would be, at the last thing that you said about spreading awareness and understanding. We, as humans, the human condition comes with ups and downs, and we all have ups and downs. And if we can share openly about those ups and downs with each other, what that does is it normalizes the experience, and it creates a space for people who are struggling to feel like they have someone to turn to when those downs start to become overwhelming. We know that a single most protective factor against mental health challenges is having a trusted person to speak to, and with kids, having a trusted adult. And we model those behaviors to our kids. So, towns that are connected and care for each other, such as Milliken, is the first step in making sure that our kids are healthier, our adults are modeling good behavior, our adults are healthier, our aging adults feel like they are supported through that aging process too. It's a whole continuum. North Range Behavioral Health is here to provide professional support when needed, but it really starts at the barbecues, at the bridal showers, at the graduation parties, when we see somebody maybe not feeling quite like themselves and saying something. So I just wanted to thank you for making mental health an awareness piece in me, and I appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay. We have 2 approval of meeting minutes. The first approval is for those who were on the board prior to, it was the first meeting of April 24th, 2024. I'll entertain a motion on those meeting minutes.
I move to approve.
Second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Beckman,
Yes.
Trustee Lane,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean,
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. The second set are the second meeting minutes of April 24th, 2024. Can I take a motion?
A motion to approve the minutes.
A second.
All in, or, town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Nix,
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman,
Yes.
Trustee Beckman,
Yes.
Trustee Lane,
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean,
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next up, we have the town administrator's report. Administrator Powell.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. And I'll apologize in advance. I took my allergy medicine a little bit too late, so I'm a little congested. So Public Works staff poured concrete at the skate park. We're going to install a bike rack there, as well as today they poured concrete at Ehrlich Lake Park in order to install one there as well. They're also working on a gazebo cover at Ehrlich Lake Park, so it'll be a nice place to put a picnic table out of the sun. So it'll just earmark that spot a little better. I think it'll look really good when it gets done. So mowing has commenced in a lot of our native areas, and soon onto the rest of the town as we watch everything grow, including the weeds, which we've been after. Landscaping has occurred around the municipal building, and that's been completed. There was an overabundance of sage, Russian sage there, so we didn't destroy the plants, we just moved them elsewhere. So we took those out of there and installed other things, as well as got rid of some of the other plants that just didn't make it. So thanks to Keith and his staff for getting all that done. Weld County Road 23 3/4, message boards were placed along the east and west bound lanes on Highway 60 in order to slow traffic. There was concerns that perhaps it was going to create an incident there. We did have one incident, but it was not due to the construction occurring. But better to be safe than sorry, so I'm glad we put those up. Lesson learned, and we should probably do that immediately. The paving of Weld County Road 23 3/4 is tentative for the week of May 13th, so yay. If you've driven out that way, it's really coming along. Looks really good. And it will be safer for all these vehicles that travel up and down that road. There were about a dozen contractors that were present for the pre-bid for Ehrlich Lake Pump Station project on Monday, May 6th, which is really nice. A lot of contractors again. The bids are due on Monday, so we'll see how many of those that actually apply, submit a bid for this project. Speaking of social media, there have been a few comments on social media as to why sidewalks are being installed on the Weld County Road 23 3/4 project. Well, sidewalks are being installed as a part of the grant requirement with the Department of Local Affairs. The town received approximately $953,000 from the department for this project. The other reason is those who work in that area may very well enjoy being able to get out on their breaks and lunch time, and a lot of those businesses out there are oil industry related. Instead of having to hop into a truck, maybe they'll take a walk. So I think it'll finish it up. Sidewalks are never a bad thing to have, no matter where in town, and it's all about connectivity. So it's a trail system for that area. I did not want to put that in social media because I knew there would be back and forth. You know, why is the town wasting dollars on installing sidewalks? But it wasn't our dollars. We received a grant for most of this project.
Would it be a fair statement to say that we also expect further development in that area of businesses that might lend to more walking, as well as, doesn't it help when you put that in, keep the road together better?
Well, the curb and gutter will do that. You know, sidewalks will always increase the value of those properties out there, as well as a well-maintained road. So no one is losing property value, they're gaining property value.
Right.
Most of that out there is industrial, there is some commercial area left, so very possibly could be, you know, more reason to have sidewalks. Trustee Dean, or Mayor Pro Tem Dean?
Just a question, isn't the installation of sidewalks part of our requirements, building requirements?
It is.
I mean,
yeah.
that's a basic reason.
So there's tons of reasons here. But the main reason is if we weren't going to install sidewalks, we would not have received the grant.
Yeah.
So sidewalks are good.
Sounds like a good reason.
Also, staff met with Richard Wagner today, and whose company specializes in obtaining federal grants. That's what they do. They go after these grants. They tell you what grants are lucrative for what projects you have going on. They will go as far as helping you write these grants, or they'll write them for you. All you have to do is explain to them what it is, what are you looking for, you know, the whole summary of this. And the reason why we were really interested in speaking with him is to look for grant funding on big dollar items. And not that we don't appreciate what DOLA does for us, but we're talking the millions of dollars worth of grants. And such funding that it could be used for is if we re-rate the wastewater treatment plant or expand it. You know, expanding it, it's going to be approximately a $15 million project. And it would be so much better for our town to receive this money in grants and much less out of the citizens' pockets. Keeps rates down for our citizens, and it keeps our debt level down. So anyway, so our initial conversation today seems like a great company. He's going to send us some information tomorrow, just based on what he heard us talking about today. And we're to put together a needs assessment, if you will, and then they'll start their search.
Terrific.
Don't know what the cost is. There is always a cost when you work with companies like that. But if you can obtain a $15 million grant, and I don't know, Wade, what would you guess that a company like that charges? Maybe 10%? I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know, but we'll find this out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, question
nothing
for them.
is signed, we're just investigating this.
Yeah. If they don't get the grant, do you still charge?
Of course.
Yeah.
But they also have a very high success rate,
Okay.
which is why this company was pointed to us, so, or we were pointed to them. They've been in business for over 20-some years in doing this. So if they're not successful in obtaining the grants for people, they probably wouldn't remain in business, so.
Probably true.
Anyway, so stay tuned. We'll bring you more information on that. That's all I have.
Okay,
Any
open
questions?
questions from the board?
I've got a quick question.
Uh-huh.
County Road 23 3/4.
Mhm.
Because it's now going to be paved,
Mhm.
does that up it a little bit on the states, the way they look at putting up a stoplight for an intersection? Does that make any difference?
No.
Okay.
But while we're paving it, we're also preparing it for a future light.
Right, right.
We can't go into CDOT's right away, of course, but we can get to it what we need in order to start that project when it does occur, but no.
And when was the last time we actually had them do their survey?
About a year ago.
Okay, because it amazes me. I'm on that road every day. And it seems like it's busier and busier, and with this construction, it's even worse, the backups and people trying it's just crazy that we can't get a light there. I mean,
Well,
from both directions, I mean, well, from all four directions, we've got traffic, a lot of traffic. And it's
Sure.
not just cars, but it's a lot of semi-trucks that take a lot longer to get through an intersection.
No, that's understood. I mean, and that's why we thought for sure the last time we did it, and not saying we shouldn't do it again soon, but I want to be pretty certain, because it'll be the third time that and it costs money in order to do these traffic studies.
Okay.
That's why we said to CDOT, all right, do a speed study. He says, well, it could go the way you don't want it to go. I don't think it will. Well, let's do a speed study. And I don't think what they did was wrong through town, ratcheting it down to 25 miles per hour. And I think pretty much everybody is doing just that. And then progressively, as you're getting out of town on both ends, it goes up to 35, and then up to 45, and then you're at 55. And so, but through the downtown area, it's at a 25-mile-an-hour zone. So we did receive some benefit that way, but no, I know. I would love to see a signal light there.
Does the speed impact the traffic study for the light?
No, because actually I asked them to do a speed study from
The other way.
Two Rivers Parkway and 60 all the way through town. Because I was hoping that they would bring it down to 45, if nothing else. And so,
Well, we will have a goal-setting session, since this is a new board, and that will be one of the topics of discussion, is when is the right time to have another warrant study for that light, because I know it's a high topic of interest in town, so.
right. And the
hasn't
best time
gone
to
anywhere.
conduct one is during the school year. So,
Yeah.
Well, especially with Civic, are they upping the numbers of grades that they're
right,
offering?
right. So
Yeah,
they will have a
more
senior
students,
class next year.
More drivers, more student
Yeah.
drivers.
There's more, there's some drivers this year as juniors.
Yeah.
There'll be additional drivers next year as seniors.
Can we have a parade that day?
I drove by a couple times when I knew it was out there. I was like, I don't care if we're two. I'm gonna put my two in.
Cheryl going 75.
If you start seeing me doing circles out of that end of town, that's a signal. And hopefully a signal light.
I was just curious, at the last traffic study that was about a year ago, were we like at the cusp, or like
So
of-
there's
of
certain
it?
warrants you have to meet.
Right,
We didn't meet the warrant for enough deaths at that intersection, which is really horrible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is what you're trying to avoid,
right.
but they
That
don't
was
look,
the-
they don't look at that. And the amount of traffic accidents, now those have gone up a couple. Not a whole lot though, Benny, has there? No. So. you
Not
know,
enough.
The most recent one was a few weeks ago. Somebody was pulling out of Centennial Drive and didn't see the semi truck and
That's not a good.
kind of plowed into the side of the semi truck.
Oh.
Nobody, I mean, everybody survived and was fine, but
Would you say more happened at that or at Traders?
Traders.
it's a toss up, yeah.
See, I think so too with that turn lane. You can't see
Right.
at Traders.
Well, and also, I think people are in a hurry. They don't want to wait, because I've noticed, especially with the construction going on, so I'm avoiding coming back, after I drop my granddaughter off at KQA, I'm avoiding coming back out on 60 and making a left. So either I'm going down to Traders, or I will just meander through the community and go to Alice, go to 46 over to Alice. But a lot of it is a backup that happens on Centennial Drive, especially in the early mornings when people are dropping kids off or heading to work, that they don't want to wait. So they think that cut through and get off on the traders, and they hurry. And the sun in the morning. That's the other thing. You know, you have the sun coming up from, what is it, the east? And,
Usually.
yeah, from the east, I'm like, and it's very bright. It's very bright. And I think out of all when the school district was trying to decide what site to pick for the high school, that was the only thing that made sense to me out of all what they were saying. And they were right, you know, and you got all these high school kids traveling, you know, east in the morning hours as the sun's coming up, that it's very blinding. So, but I think if we get a signal light at Centennial Drive, more people will utilize that over traders.
Any other discussion? Questions? Okay. Hearing none, thank you for your report.
Sure.
Moving on, we've got the consent agenda. We have consideration and approval of a license agreement with Millhouse Coffee. I will take a motion on the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Nix.
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman.
Yes.
Trustee Beckman.
Yes.
Trustee Lane.
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Action agenda. We have consideration and adoption of resolution number 24-14 for appointments. Matthew Gould, Town Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor Austin. This resolution that's before you simply reappoints the current town administrator, treasurer, town attorneys, and judge. And we are also including this time substitute judges. We have a list of, I think, 3 that the presiding judge has contacted to be available in case of sickness or other need for her to be away. We're just bringing it just a slightly more into compliance with the wording in the statutes. So if you have any questions, happy to answer them.
Okay, questions from the board, starting with Trustee Beckman,
No questions.
Trustee Orcutt,
No questions.
Trustee Nix,
No questions.
Trustee Lane,
No questions.
Trustee Wakeman.
I did have a quick question. If you could just provide some background. Obviously, most people we know firsthand but the judge just.
Yes, I appreciate that. And what I did during the work session is I went out and grabbed the resume that was provided by Judge Oblau when she was engaged and originally appointed. I think it was in 2020. That's the most recent information I have. She just, to the extent I have any feedback, and I don't prosecute except for very infrequently, but she has served a variety of communities and still does as presiding judge. She has been in the area for quite a number of years, and I think that the Fred Long, who does the bulk of the prosecution, as well as Jed Scott, who does some special prosecution, they're very pleased to work with her. So I think that we distributed, and you should have in front of you that little packet if you wanted to take a look at it.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Any other questions? Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
No questions.
Okay. All right, if there's no further discussion, I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt Resolution 24-14, a resolution appointing an administrator, treasurer, town attorneys, judges, and town clerk for the town of Milliken.
I second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Wakeman.
Yes.
Trustee Beckman.
Yes.
Trustee Lane.
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt.
Yes.
Trustee Nix.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the consideration and adoption of resolution number 24-15, judges' compensation. Again, Matthew Gould, Town Attorney, presenting.
Thank you, Mayor. We did receive a request from the presiding judge, which is Judge Oblau, for a slight increase in compensation. She provided some information that came from, I am assuming it's a judges association that shows comparable payment to other presiding judges in the area, and that was included in the memo. it seems like a reasonable request, and it does still keep her on the low end of the range reflected by those numbers.
Okay. Questions from the board, starting with Trustee Wakeman.
No questions.
Trustee Lane.
No questions.
Trustee Nix.
No questions.
Trustee Orcutt.
No questions.
Trustee Beckman.
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
No questions.
I have no questions either, so pretty clear cut. I'll take a motion on the matter.
I move to adopt Resolution 2415, a resolution setting compensation of the municipal judge.
I second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Beckman,
Yes.
Trustee Lane,
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt,
Yes.
Trustee Nix,
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean,
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Don't feel bad, Carrie. I'm
I
struggling
always
a
had
little,
Trustee
too.
Lane and Trustee Dean
I
in
was
order.
waiting.
I gotta get.
I was waiting for that.
I almost called you Mayor Pro Tem Ehrlich a couple times.
All right. The next item on the agenda is consideration and approval of a proposal from Accessibility for the remediation of PDF documents. This was tabled from our last meeting. Presenting is Carrie Reinberger, Town Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor and trustees. As discussed in numerous of our work sessions in the last board meeting, this is that last piece we have to meet the new House bill and Senate bills for ADA compliance. Accessibility will be our PDF remediation site. The reason it is a yearly contract is because it's based on the number of documents we do a year. We have completed several demonstrations with them on how the process works, and sat with them in numerous meetings. And based on all the companies we've interviewed, we do feel that they can best fit not only what we need, but our timelines also required by Cora. And I'm open to any questions.
Okay, questions from the board, starting with Trustee Nix.
No questions.
Trustee Lane.
No questions.
Trustee Wakeman.
I did have a quick question. So the subscription is annual, is that correct? Or is there an option for monthly? And just wanting your kind of overall confidence level, I guess,
Sure.
that annual is better than monthly.
So because it's based on a number of pages per year, or pages in general, it's higher if we do a monthly subscription, so that's why we asked them to do it at a yearly subscription. Based on our demonstrations with them, I do feel confident that they'll be able to provide us the most adequate and provide us the best services. There are, our town attorney worked with their attorney on making sure we had outs if need be as well in the contracts, so.
That's right. They conceded some language changes we requested, and I was pretty pleased with that, so.
Great. Okay, that's it.
Trustee Beckman.
No questions, thanks.
Trustee Orcutt.
Trustee Wakeman stole my question, so thank you for asking. No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean.
No questions.
All right, I also don't have any questions. I do like the service, so I will take a motion on the matter.
I move to approve the proposal from Accessible in the amount of $11,250 for the remediation of PDF documents for town compliance with the unfunded mandate of HB 21-2111 and SB 23-244.
Second.
Was that trustee Beckman?
Sorry, that was a second.
Thank you.
Okay, Town Clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Lane,
Yes.
Trustee Orcutt,
Yes.
Trustee Nix,
Yes.
Trustee Wakeman,
Yes.
Trustee Beckman,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dean,
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That concludes the action agenda. On the discussion agenda, we do have our Community Development Director, Pepper McClanahan, has an introduction of a new employee.
Thank you, Mayor and trustees. I just want to quickly introduce Jordan Cashman. She's our new Planner 1. She started with us a week ago this past Monday. She's picking up very quickly, and we're very grateful to have her on board.
So she came back for week 2?
She did.
It's not that we've had a problem.
Just wanted to give you a chance to know who she is and welcome her to the groups.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard, Jordan.
Thank you.
Glad to have you.
Thank you. Happy to be
Thank
here.
you. All right, do we have any board member reports this evening?
What usually is said on a board member report?
Well, for instance, when the board members go to CML, we will present some of the sessions that we went to. We'll give a little short overview of what they were about. We're going to have some questions on those. Also, board members get appointed as liaisons to different groups. I think I'm going to...
Other boards?
Excuse me, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. Okay, so such as, we've got TRPR, the fire department, which trustee Beckman serves on. Mayor Pro Tem Dean serves on North Front Range. Metropolitan Planning.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
School
And we will
district?
have several board members that will liaison with the school board. And they basically watch the meetings and to see if there is something that we need to be aware of. So they bring those reports back at that time. Good question.
Awesome.
I will actually say the fire department, they are doing a ribbon cutting and pancake breakfast on June 1st that morning at the new fire department in Johnstown. So if we want to attend, it's like 5 a.m. to 10, I think. So it looks beautiful, so.
Oh, is this the one that they redid?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's that right by the Taco Bell gas
Right.
station.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it looks
so
good.
It's beautiful, so, yeah. But they're doing the ribbon cutting at 8 a.m., so if you guys want to go, I think I'll be there.
Okay,
Not going
sounds
then.
great.
Hey.
Any other community news that we want to discuss?
CJC has a truancy workshop celebration for end of the year, May 17th, so next Friday. I don't remember what time it is.
But we're not celebrating truancy, we're celebrating.
No, we're celebrating the kids.
Those who made it through truancy.
Yeah, we're celebrating the
Solid
kids
observation.
that did well.
Yes.
That improved, and there were quite a few.
And now go to
So,
school, okay. Good to know. Any other announcements? Okay, the rest of your reports in your packet are written for your review. If there is any questions, let us know. Otherwise, with no further board business to be brought before the board, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we're out. Everybody have a nice evening. Thank you.